Imagine this. You are a woolly mammoth on an ordinary day. No drama, no danger, just chewing grass, moving slowly, living the peaceful mammoth lifestyle. Then from 50 feet away, a strange, hairless little primate lifts its arm and launches a rock straight at your skull. You do not dodge it. Because in your world, nothing has ever attacked like that before. That single moment is where humans stopped playing by nature's rules. Main story. Now, if you judge humans by body design alone, we look like a terrible survival experiment. No claws, no fangs, no armor, weak skin, bad cold resistance, bad heat resistance, and teeth that struggle against food a little too crispy. Put a human on a stats sheet next to a lion, bear, gorilla, or even a furious house cat, and we do not look like the species that should dominate Earth. Yet somehow, this fragile animal spread across every continent, survived almost every climate, reshaped ecosystems, and now controls the fate of billions of other animals. So what happened? Most people say, big brain. And yes, the brain matters, but that answer skips the weirdest part. One of the most powerful abilities humans ever evolved was not just thinking, it was throwing. Accurately, at distance, better than anything else alive. And that is much stranger than it sounds, because most animals are terrible at throwing. A silverback gorilla can be several times stronger than a human. It has absurd power in its arms. It could destroy you in close combat without even understanding what your problem is. But give that same gorilla a baseball, and suddenly all that strength becomes useless. The throw is slow, the angle is wrong, the object drops awkwardly into the ground. Chimpanzees have the same problem. They are strong, explosive, dangerous animals, but their bodies are not built to turn a small object into a long-range weapon. Meanwhile, an ordinary 12-year-old human can often throw farther and more accurately than a massive primate. Not because the child is stronger, because the human body made a very specific evolutionary trade. We gave up a lot of raw upper body power, but we gained something else. A shoulder and torso, built like a living slingshot. Your waist rotates, your hips turn, your torso twists, your shoulder pulls back and stores energy in tendons like a stretched spring. Then when you release, power travels from your feet, through your legs, into your hips, across your chest, into your arm, and finally out through your fingers. A human throw is not just an arm movement. It is the whole body firing one object through space. You are basically a biological trebuchet. You have always been one. You just do not think about it when you throw a sock across the room. The surprising part, but strength and shoulder design are only half the story, because throwing is useless if you cannot aim. And accurate throwing is an unbelievably difficult physics problem. Your brain has to judge distance, weight, gravity, speed, air resistance, wind, movement of the target, and the exact instant your finger should release the object. Release it a tiny bit too early, and you miss. Release it a tiny bit too late, and you also miss. A difference of just a few milliseconds can completely change where the object lands, and yet your brain does this automatically. You do not open a calculator, you do not measure the angle, you look at a target, and somewhere deep inside your nervous system, your brain predicts a future that has not happened yet. It imagines the arc, it estimates the landing point, it prepares your muscles, then it lets go. That is not normal animal behavior. That is a built-in biological aiming system. Of course, you might still miss the trash can from 2 feet away, but the fact that your brain can even attempt this in real time is incredible. And 2 million years ago, this changed everything. Before humans became great throwers, nature had one brutal rule. If you wanted to kill something, you had to get close. A lion had to reach the zebra. The zebra could kick back. A predator had to bite, claw, grab, or wrestle. Every hunt carried the risk of injury or death. Close combat was always a gamble. Humans found a loophole. Instead of running into the danger zone, they could stand outside it and send violence through the air. A rock, a sharpened stick, a spear. Suddenly, the weakest-looking animal on the savannah could hurt you from a distance. Now imagine being a saber-toothed cat. You are an apex predator designed by millions of years of evolution to terrify everything around you. Then one day, a group of small, upright primates forms a circle, and rocks start flying at your face from every direction. There is no instinct for that. No ancient predator manual explains what to do when the prey invents ranged combat. Humans had created artillery before they created the wheel, and once we discovered that distance could be turned into power, we never stopped upgrading the idea. Rocks became spears, spears became arrows, arrows led to catapults, catapults led to guns, guns led to missiles. Eventually, humans became so good at throwing that we launched metal machines off Earth and placed them around other planets. A spacecraft orbiting Mars is, in the strangest possible sense, the same ancient skill scaled up, throwing something with enough precision that it lands exactly where we want it to go. Conclusion. So when you look at yourself, you may not feel like an apex predator. You may feel tired, soft, distracted, or completely harmless. But inside your body is a system shaped by millions of years of survival. A rotating torso, a flexible shoulder, a brain that predicts motion before it happens. You exist because your ancestors were the ones who could hit the target. The ones who missed too often did not shape the future. So the next time you toss popcorn into your mouth and somehow land it perfectly, remember this. That tiny throw is not random. It is the echo of the skill that broke the food chain, the skill that helped build civilization, and maybe the strangest reason humans are still here.